your perfect match could be closer than you think. A family-friendly SUV for soccer practice, a fuel-sipping commuter, or a hardworking truck that's ready for anything. Trusted brands and a team that's actually happy to help. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Welcome to the Bro Zone, the ultimate garage setup for checking out the big game.
70-inch TV? Check. Surround sound? Check. Mini fridge fully stocked? Check.
But a legendary Bro Zone needs legendary snacks. Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky. It's the perfect game day companion when you're watching from the ultimate fan cave.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Turn up the volume for a night of rock classics with Jersey Boulevard, the tribute to Bon Jovi and Journey, live November 7th at Pure Casino Yellowhead's Pearl Showroom. Feel the energy of legendary hits like Living on a Prayer and Don't Stop Believing. Performed with powerhouse vocals and authentic stage presence. Tickets from just $32.50. Get yours now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Jersey Boulevard, the tribute to Bon Jovi and Journey, November 7th at Pure Casino. Pure entertainment, pure action, and pure imagination.
Not sure where to turn? Remember 211, the number to contact for mental health, addiction, and community supports. It's free, confidential, and available 24/7. 211 Alberta. One number, countless connections.
A message from the Government of Alberta.
Experience West of Mabu, the 5-piece Celtic band, and the Celtic Ceilidh Dance Academy as Sherlock Holmes Pub presents the Family Ceilidh on the K97 stage at the Sherwood Park Highland Gathering, Saturday night at 6 in Broadmoor Lake Park. Tickets at sphg.ca.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Elks playing Regina tonight. First place on the line and the first of a monster back-to-back. Blue Jays are bleeding out in the hot July sun. That's too early, man, but expect trades. It could be Gosman. I know you want Varsho out, and I don't even think we have to talk about Hoffman, but that and more on the Lowdown today, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Wolf GMC Buick, hurry in for hot summer savings, including 0% purchase financing on select models, 0%. WolfGMCBuick.com. Our headliner of the day, bagged milk. We are moments away from a major announcement, but I'm delighted to pass along to you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. We're live on sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, we're on Apple and Spotify podcast. We tweeted out on X as well. We love that you listen. We love that you're on YouTube, and we love that you text us anytime. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're on Twitter. We're all each unique individuals. At Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, you'll never find it, and at jfenwick04. And he's surprisingly interactive, is young Fenwick. So is Declan, if you can find his website or his his Twitter handle, but it's really, really hard to do. We're Elks, Jays, a major announcement in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, Oilers and more on the show today. Plus, you tell us whatever you want to talk about on the text line. Okay, it's time for the introductions. If he had a choice to book anyone on this show for an interview, it would be Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Anaheim Angels, Los Angeles Angels. And it would be something like the interview, Chris Farley's interview with Paul McCartney on Saturday Night Live. That's how I see it going. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
That's a great, I don't know if it would be Mike Trout. I think it might be Jerome Iginla.
Well, Iginla would be a great one too. But you'd still be Chris Farley.
My only question would be like, hey man, like, why did you never want out? And please, like, talk about it for 10 minutes as to like do you ever wish they got you a better starting pitcher?
Yeah, I think
Or
that's
like a
the
decent
thing
shortstop.
athletes will never tell you is the reason that they like Trout obviously loves where he is.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could go to the Dodgers.
He could.
I mean, they
He
trade
absolutely could.
They got an outfielder right there making $1 bazillion who isn't doing doodly. They
Listen,
trade straight up.
I don't want to see that. That would be an Angels move. They'd be like, all right, we'll give you Mike Trout. You give us Teoscar Hernandez and a 3rd round pick.
I was thinking of Tucker.
Oh, well.
He's doing nothing, man.
Well.
He's got a big contract.
Great.
Ships that pass in the night.
Listen, we need someone out of their rotation, you know?
Yeah.
They've got the body to spare. They'd open it up for Tariq Skubal, you know?
Well, what about like River Ryan is a great pitcher. He's not well known, but he's got a fantastic fastball. All right. If he had a choice to book anyone on this show for an interview, it would be Talaya Gaines. I know what you're saying. Who's Talaya Gaines? Talaya Gaines is the VP of talent for ESPN in charge of talent procurement. He would have her on the show and not let her out of the interview until she hired him for the program. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
That's a great outside of the box pick. I appreciate the research that had to go into finding out Talaya's name. It's got to be Jimmy Butler, though.
Well, I thought of that. But
I know. It simply has to be.
I actually thought of the actor whose name I can't remember right now.
Brad Pitt?
Yeah, I thought of Brad Pitt for you and Jimmy for you, but I wanted to kind of change it up a little.
Yeah, Jimmy would be a little too easy.
Well, a little bit.
I do think I'll go ahead and get ahead of this now. If Jimmy Butler is ever booked on the show, I'm taking that one. I'm just putting my hands up. That one's mine.
And if we ever get Mike Trout
on it, man.
You know, if we ever get Mike Trout or Jerome McGinley, I have a few questions for. Like, how much more is it for your house outside of St. Albert than it is for my house inside St. Albert? Like ballpark, you know, just to get an idea about, you know, how close I am to, you know, the golf course. But Ginla would be a great interview.
Do you think the Flames got equivalent value for, or the Stars got equivalent value for you and traded Joe Newman?
Well, the answer to that is yes. You know, Craig Button made that deal.
Shout out.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I want to announce this because we had talked about it earlier, but it was always kind of like, you know, when is it coming? And, you know, you got to get everybody's, you know, situation together and timeline. Field of Dreams Festival 2026 is happening Saturday, August 22nd. It's a baseball day camp for adults. This is wild stuff. The Riverhawks Community Foundation is presenting it. They've done something completely different this year. It's a dynamic ballpark festival, celebrates youth sport, leadership, commonly community, while raising funds to remove barriers so kids can play the game they love. We've talked about this a lot over the years because it's such a great idea. But there's on-field dining, there's baseball skills station, there's pitching lessons. How do you throw a curve? They'll tell you. Slide piece, a palm ball. I can do a palm ball. And if they do the splitter, you probably will never be the same, but it's okay. There's batting cages, radar gun readings. I want Josh to do a radar gun reading because I think he could hit 55.
I think I could hit faster than that.
No, a pitch.
Yeah, I know. I think I could hit faster than that.
Yeah. How fast do you think your fastball is?
I think I could get my fastball up over 60.
Okay. You are one of the few people in life who actually has some kind of a like normal or reasonable idea about how fast they can pitch.
Listen, I would be trying my darndest to be getting it over 70. That's still hitting the catcher's mitt.
Right. That's what makes Major League Baseball so crazy, you know? Mizorowski hitting 103, Mason Miller doing the same. God, man, I don't know what they're being paid, and I know it's a lot, but it's almost worth it. Anyway.
Sick to your stomach thinking about it.
There's going to be live music, going to be a great time. And tomorrow at 12:40 on this very same radio station, we will be talking to Devon White, former Edmonton Trapper, Toronto Blue Jays legendary center fielder, great fellow. I cannot wait to talk to all the things that have happened with the Jays like last year and this year. maybe some recommendations about what they can do. But Devon White will join us tomorrow at 12:40 on Sports 1440, and I'm very excited about that because this is a real MLB ball player who wowed people just with his glove and his bat too. So he's perfect for the celebration. The website you want to go to if you want to get tickets is riverhawksfoundation.ca. That's riverhawksfoundation.ca, and the Riverhawks at Community Foundation / Festival 2026. All the information you want there. It's going to be an absolute blast. And it's coming up too. Like, it's not like it's a million miles away. August 22nd, we'll talk to Devon White about that tomorrow. And I'm certainly looking forward to it. I know how to throw like the curveball and the fastball and the palm ball, but like a circle change, I think I know, but I'm going to check it out. So I'm going to be over there where they throw the baseballs, but I'm hoping that somebody knows what they're doing. I bet they do. What will you want to do?
I would go pitching and then become a better hitter in recent years. So I definitely like take a look at the plate.
First time I ever stood in against a pitcher throwing a baseball who was trained.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary as bleep.
I believe you. It's a good Carius story, actually, is him talking about when the Trappers or whoever, they held something and there was a pitcher. I forget who it was. Legendary pitcher. I think it won a Cy Young. I just can't.
Luis Tiant, Steve Rogers, Kirk McCaskill.
I just can't remember who it is, but it was happening down like at where the field was. And so you got 10 pitches against this guy to see if you could get a hit. And he got a hold of one and pulled it just a little too far left. It went past the foul pole, but it like went into the parking lot.
Nice.
And so he threw the next one and it was right under Carius's chin.
Honest to God, like the my memory of like Bob Gibson and Steve Carlton and some of those guys from the 70s were like, Pedro Martinez is like that too. In there, you dug in okay, you all ready? I'm going to throw the pitch now. And then they just, the thing they never did, though, that I ever saw was throw behind your head. You usually got some chin music and nothing worse. What about you, Declan? Where would you want to go if you were heading to the ballpark to throw a pitch or hit a ball or,
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd like to try everything. I really like. I wish I would have played baseball. It was never a sport I was even remotely in. Played, some rec league softball in the summer, stuff like that. I would like to, but I just think my best spot would be a center fielder. So stick with what you know.
Have you played center field?
Yeah, like in rec league softball.
Okay.
But I would like to test myself on the gun. I'd like to get on the mound and wheel it a little bit. I want to do it all.
It is surprisingly tough to be accurate on the mound.
It is. Cat Dad said, are you going to ask Devon White about when Joe Carter raffled off his truck? It actually wasn't Devon White. I remember that very well. It was Derek Bell. And I don't know if have you ever seen the video of that where there's the PA and we're going to raffle off a truck. We're going to give it away. And Joe Carter drives Derek Bell's vehicle out there, and Bell's like, doing whatever you do when the inning's over. And then he looks out and he has this look on his face like, what is going on? Amazing prank.
Riverhawks did this last night with their coach, Jake Lanferman.
Did they really?
They drove his car out onto the,
oh my God, that's awesome.
I think it was truck onto the field and was like, all right, guys, we're raffling off a truck.
They have so much, they have a blast there. They really do.
They do.
Yeah. I love that park. And no matter what the weather is, it's always a good time. But when the sun's beating down, you're having a wobbly pop and all the things they have going on between innings are a blast down there. Can't wait for the next opportunity and really looking forward to this. Just one more reminder and then we'll move on. We'll talk about it later as the day goes on. But it's Field of Dreams Festival on August 22nd. You can get your tickets. The website is riverhawksfoundation.ca and you just follow the prompts and you'll be fine. All right. Elks, Rough Riders. Are you feeling confident about this game, Declan? Do you think this is I know it's not a guaranteed win night, but do you feel pretty good about it?
No, the exact opposite. I think Edmonton is the best defense in the CFL. I think what they've shown through 6 games of the season and just the way they've been able to win games when it's ugly, when they've had some clean performances offensively, they've had their defense show up, they've come from behind. Like, they've done a lot in 6 games that prove to me that they can do it every which way. But I just, I said this on Elks Nation back on Monday morning. I just think you're probably not going to go 17-1. You're playing a team in Saskatchewan who's coming off a bye at their barn when it's a short week for you. And, we don't have to go too deep into this again, but there's no question that there's going to be some heightened emotions with this one, right? And I would have picked them without that, just because, like I said, Saskatchewan, they're at home, they're off a bye, you've had a short week, and your offense looks a little shaky against BC. Your defense kind of had to win you that game. So it's tough for me to pick against the Elks with what we've seen this season. They've won games every which way, but I just think it's very tough to go 17-1. If there was kind of a scheduled loss, this would probably be the spot you find it.
And it's important because it sets up the rest of the summer, right? You got back-to-back against Saskatchewan, and then I know that it's a long way to Labor Day, but it's not that far away. Are you prepared to say that the Elks now are pretty good for first or second, or is there still a lot up in the air?
In the West, yeah, I think it does seem like them and Saskatchewan. I think they'll split this back-to-back with Saskatchewan. I think they'll each probably win their home game. If Edmonton can go in there and win this one against that Riders team with how accurate Trevor Harris is and Keyshawn and Keon Schaefer-Baker and Sam Emlis doing what they're doing, and the defense finally stepping up, that would be such an unreal feather in their cap. But there's no question, it's Montreal after this back-to-back, and then Labor Day is kind of right around the corner. A third of the season is done, and you've built yourself a nice cushion, but now it's time to, get a little bit more serious with these things. So we'll see how it breaks down.
All right. Sounds good. Is our YouTube working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Our YouTube's working.
All right. Sometimes I check to see if we're doing okay, and I didn't see it, but now I do. All right. So we talked about the Jays at the beginning. I think Gosman is going to get traded. I think Varsho is going to get traded. I don't know that Hoffman, DFA'd is more likely. But here's the thing, and I want to ask you, Josh, because you can throw a 65-mile-an-hour fastball.
Hopefully.
The Bo Sox were about to trade a bunch of people, and now they've gone on a massive winning streak. I don't think the Jays have that in them, but I'm not sure. Are you convinced trading Gosman? Because when you trade Gosman, you're playing for next year, and he hasn't pitched well. But so what? Veterans go up and down during a year. Would you pull the plug on Gosman, Varsho, and play for next year?
I don't know if I pull the plug on Varsho. He seems like he'd be a pretty important part of what they'd want next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of pains me to say, but yeah, I think you got to pull the plug on Gosman. This is sort of like Mr. Blue Jay right now. I know Vladdy's the one that's getting the big deal, but he just seems like he loves the city.
And a great contract, man. He's been so good.
He's lived up to every part of what you want him to be. I mean, and so it's a tough deal, but I think you're going to have to deal out Gosman. Now, what team's going to take him? I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially you read off his teams that he couldn't be traded to yesterday. So I don't know. You don't really want to do an in-division trade, but maybe the Rays would take him.
Right.
Pull the plug on him, and then you got to do literally anything with Hoffman that makes it so he's not pitching. He got the loss yesterday in 2/3 of an inning.
Yeah,
pitched.
Varsho made a terrible play. God,
they cannot defend right now.
They look like, confidence is such a thing in sports. We see it with goaltending all the time in hockey, but they look like they've lost before the anthem. Mm-hmm. And they're tough to watch. I mean, sometimes it's better. And I'm just saying this out loud. You don't have to do it. But I remember when maybe around 2011 when the Oilers were just really tough. And, it impacted how I was treating people around me, specifically my family. And so I turned it off. I felt like emotionally, it was too much. It had been 4 years of losing. And your Flames fans are used to that. But for the Oilers, it's tough, So I turned it off and I would tape the game. And the Jays right now are so bad. Maybe, if you're emotionally tied to it, maybe that would be the way to do it.
Maybe the Padres.
They go to the Padres with Gausman?
Yeah.
It'd be a great place for him.
Yeah, it would be a great place for him.
And they do have some talent to trade.
Yeah. So I think there's opportunity there.
Scooble's the one. I mean, if Scooble gets traded to the Dodgers, we're having Donovan on for a segment. I just want to hear him, rant.
We'd have to call him. It'd have to be done.
Wild stuff, man. Holy. We've talked about the Riverhawks. We've talked about Devon White. We've talked about the Jays. We've talked about the Elks. I wrote an article about Vasily Podkolzin. 17 5-on-5 goals. Tops among Oilers wingers. He blocked 48 shots. He played extremely well in terms of outscoring. He didn't play on the power play much, but he was effective when he was there for 33 minutes. So I ask you quickly, we'll go around and I'll ask you, I need you to name the wingers on this team that you think will have a better year in 26-27 than Vasily Podkolzin, including injuries and, getting faded.
Zach Hyman, Matt Savoy.
And that's it.
I think that's it for me.
I agree with you. I think that's the list. And Savoy, I worry about injury. But I'm sorry, with Hyman, I worry about injury. But I mean, you can't keep him out of the top 6. How can you do that? He's going to play with Draisaitl or McDavid. That's what I think. And I mean, it's not beyond if McDavid and Draisaitl play together, one of Savoy or Podkolzin would play with him because you need Hyman badly for the Nuge line. Right? You wouldn't give Nuge, Podkolzin, and Savoy. Is Declan getting violent back there? Or?
I guess the mouse just isn't working.
Oh, I thought maybe a mosquito.
We've had these problems before with the mouse. This is a new one, but anytime it would kind of glitch out, if you smacked it a little, it would kind of round it.
You didn't smack it a little. You just smacked it a lot.
Yeah, I think you don't realize your strength. You're a former boxer. I saw the way you knocked the phone out of Josh's hand.
You weren't even here for that.
No, I in my mind, I've seen it.
That's nice.
We can recreate it.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Like a TikTok though.
No, I don't.
By the way, I think it's Hyman and Savoy as well.
Yeah,
for what it's worth.
I would have.
I really wanted to throw it Kasperi Kapanen just because I really really like him, and I think when you grade it on a scale, what he doesn't hit, but I can't even do that because I just think Vasily plays his role so well as well.
Yeah, no, I like, and I think Kapanen. I'll be honest. I think that the Oilers. I would love to see Ike Howard thrive, but I think it might be Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Kapanen on that line for much of the year.
I'm not nearly as bullish on Ike Howard as everyone else.
Well, you haven't seen him score 20 yet. He can score goals. It's the problem is, do they have time? Does Mike Babcock have the time and the patience? And if he doesn't, then they're going to have to move him along because this is year 2 of his entry deal. All right, it's 12:21. On the way, we have bagged milk at 1 o'clock. Just around the corner, we have rumors. And declarations today, I believe, is the large oblong ball we associate normally with the Canadian Football League.
That is correct.
When are we going to the college football on the Wednesdays?
Probably pretty soon.
Okay.
Probably pretty. Like the NBA is just, maybe we'll wait till LeBron signs. We'll recap that. Then
okay, because I got some college football quarterback questions.
Oh, hey. Heck yeah.
All right.
Toss them at me anytime.
Okay, well, maybe we'll do that today because it's in the top of my mind. I've been reading on it. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience, All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies.
With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Not sure what wheels fit your vehicle? Evolve Wheels and Tires gives you honest advice from enthusiasts who know fitment inside and out. Whether it's your truck, SUV, or sports car, they have you covered. Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters.
It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games, live dealer action, and new adventures waiting to be discovered. Jackpot City.
Nothing beats the original.
Please play responsibly, 18 years or older, Alberta only.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. Who was that song by?
Canadian legend, maybe not legend, but Canadian icon, Shawn Mendes.
I really like his voice.
I think he blew up on Vine back in the day, if you remember that up.
I just like there's a strength to his voice, right? I'm impressed by that. Was he in a boy band?
No,
soloed in a boy band.
Soloed it.
There you go. All right. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Edmonton. It's riding season. Harley-Davidson of Edmonton has your next bike waiting. Huge selection. New and pre-owned, plus test rides available. Locally owned and operated since 1980. Good people over there. The Kents. Say hi for me. And have a cup of coffee. On me. It's free. Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com. Harley-Davidson of Edmonton. All right. Everyone wants to talk about Patrick Kane. It's too much, but they'll make it back in putting bums in the seats. Patrick Kane is a legend. 2 times $8 million with a no movement. Is that what it was? My goodness.
I didn't see the no movement. He probably does because, again, in the NHL, these things get handed out like candy.
This is honestly the one, though. I wouldn't think he has one.
Well, he wouldn't need it. They're not going to trade him.
Yeah, right?
I mean, you think that now.
I always thought that Patrick Kane would have been the ideal winger for Connor McDavid. But then it was Leon. I don't think anybody, like, of all the guys out there who could have played with McDavid, like, you make a trade and you get a guy. I think Leon's perfect. And Leon, anything he wasn't perfect at, he turned himself into, like the shot. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have that. You look, I collect scouting reports. Nobody's cooler than me. I collect scouting reports, and there was passing, There was, lumbering feet. They felt that he would run out of gas at late in shifts. He improved all that. And then he just said, okay, I'm going to have to be the shooter. And he was and is. Amazing hockey player. Leon Draisaitl did more to get better after he got to the NHL than any player in the league today. I'm convinced that's true. But Patrick Kane, is a really good player. He's a shadow. I was going to say something else. What was I going to say?
Shell?
That's what I was going to say. Funny how words do that to you. Shell of his former self, but he still can, probably pop 20. Right?
Best American player ever?
I love Modano more. Modano was a center. He was fleet. He was a two-way guy, 200 feet. He never backed down. Modano, everybody said, this guy's not tough. He went to the SJHL where they're filthy, and he played there in Prince Albert. Lots of respect for Modano. I'll say Modano. But I'm stubborn and I'm old. Right? So you are probably giving the more popular answer, but I'll go with Mike Modano. The Pittsburgh Penguins are apparently interested in Shane Wright as a possible pickup. That's a great pickup for a team like Pittsburgh, who are still kind of competitive, but they're also looking to kind of reload too. I'm convinced that Wright is way better than people are marking him now. It was in a system in Seattle that was unforgiving of youth. And I think he's going, I don't know if he's a center, but if he's a wing, he's going to be a really good two-way winger. And I think he's got more offense in that stick than people are giving him credit for. Jet Greaves was signed to a 3-year deal. We were exclaiming, we were flummoxed, we were blown away by the gap between the ask from the player and the team as they headed to arbitration. Turns out it's $5 million AAV. The gap was from 2.8, which was the offer from the Blue Jackets, and the ask from Greaves was 7.5. And if you add those two up, 10.3, comes out at around $5 million. So they were way, way, way off. I think Columbus Blue Jackets had to solve that because they were so low, they might have cost themselves a couple swill. And who does that?
Mm-hmm.
In this economy, you never do that.
It's good that they get to avoid arbitration too, because then Jet Greaves doesn't have to hear the Blue Jackets basically dumping on him as to why he doesn't deserve the money he thinks he does.
And it gets personal in there.
I believe you.
Like there's many accounts over the years of players who were never quite felt the same about the organization after they went through that process. And who wants that? We're LeBron Watch. What is it? Day 23 of LeBron Watch. Still no signing. Is there a schedule now?
No.
So no signing, no schedule, no silver. Okay.
It's just all fine and dandy over in the NBA right now, honestly. It's just going exactly the way everybody planned it to.
Does LeBron want like a special? Does he want a TV special of some sort?
He's done that before.
No.
So, I mean, like, why not?
He's not going to do it again, though. Not this time.
Maybe
You don't
he'll
think
do
so?
it. It'd be hang gliding or he'll go to the a mountaintop. He's got a little drama in him. That's why I don't know why he's leaving Hollywood.
He does. He has the most drama in him probably of any player ever. But this time around, no, I don't think so. I think it's going to be quiet. We're going to find out from a Shams tweet. He's not going to do a sit-down interview with Jim Gray. He might come out with a tweet or something afterwards, but
I don't know. This is a pretty big decision. Like, this is basically where he's going to spend the last year of his career, right? Like, this is. I could see the pomp and circumstance that he would pull for himself.
what I think will happen is like the announcement will come out via that Shams tweet, and then he'll do a sit-down interview where he confirms it's his last year.
On 60 Minutes.
He'd probably do it with like Taylor Rooks or something.
The Raiders and Mendoza they're signing or have signed their deal. Is an NFL entry deal like basically it's already pre-written and you just sign it?
I guess, yeah. But how does that differ from other entry-level contracts?
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if the NFL is different than the NHL, say.
You get a lot more. You get a lot more money, like a lot more money.
But is there bonus money attached at a big level?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
You get your signing bonus. I think let me look up what Mendoza's contract is here, because I'm sure he's making probably like 40, 50 million.
So it's just like the NHL.
Yeah, 57.27 fully guaranteed.
If you were taller, would you have really aggressively pursued basketball?
Yes.
Like if you were 6'6", you would have gone.
Yes.
You would have gone to even a smaller college down there, like, Gonzaga.
I would have done whatever it took. Yeah, because we just talked about Fernando Mendoza, his ELC being 4 years, 57 million. You want to guess what AJ DeBance's was?
No, I don't.
He's never stepped foot on an NBA court. And his ELC, 4 years, $66.9 million.
How many again?
$66.9 million. Never stepped foot on an NBA court. NBA money's just different. Like, always will be.
Well, then part of it is that there's only like how many guys?
Yeah, only. So it's like, it's 12 or 13, and then you got the 3 that can be on the two-way deal. 12 and then 3 that can be on the two ways. So,
yeah, and then like it's hard. The other side of that, it's harder to get into it. Like if you're on an NBA roster, you're a hell of a good player, right?
Yeah.
Even if you don't play, if you play 12 minutes a night, you're still real good.
It's the toughest of the 4 major sports leagues to make.
Yeah. Something happened in baseball, and it's a throwback. It reminds me of the olden days. There's a lot that doesn't about Major League Baseball now, but the Cubs called up infield prospect James Triantos today, and he's never played in baseball major leagues before. But this is absolutely a showcase. This is a Cubs team that needs pitching. They've got an extra infielder, and remember the name James Triantos because I bet you he's traded by the deadline, which isn't far away, as I recall. Everybody needs pitching. Everybody. The Jays are in a good spot if they want to move Gausman. And if they want to move any of the good pitchers in their bullpen, they could do that too. I just worry about next year. Savage will be there. Gausman won't be. Who are you bringing back? I mean, there's Ponce, but he's hurt.
The bullpen. You'll have Cease on contract. Bring back Spencer Miles. I think he'll probably still have some term left. We're just talking like pitchers, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Bieber will probably go somewhere else.
I would think so.
And like Hoffman should be gone. Louis Varland, I don't know how much he has left on his deal, but you should find any way to keep him.
You could get a lot for Varland right
yeah, you could. But then like if you're just trying to build for next year, what's the point?
True. And
because you're going to need that closer.
And he's got a rubber arm too. He can do multiple things for you. He can close, but he can also, pitch 2 innings at, as required. He's a really valuable guy. The Minnesota Twins are just awful. They're a terrible team, but they know pitching.
Yeah, it's true. Pardon me?
So when you're listening to the show, you yawn. And when you're not listening to the show, you're getting work done. Is that the way this works?
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Welcome to the program, Tide.
Okay, there you go. He's waiting for the Kawhi decision to join Toronto.
God, I hope so.
It's more likely than Philadelphia.
No, I would say Philly is infinitely more likely.
I have always liked you. Always.
You really think it's that more infinitely likely?
Yeah.
I thought we were friends.
This is the best segment.
Betrayed.
Ever. Best segment ever.
You think that too? Come on.
No, I really don't.
Really?
I don't think he wants to deal with the city of Philadelphia in his last year in the NBA.
I think Philly is the 4th one on the list. And I to be fair, I guess Toronto would probably be 5. But I do think there's kind of a drop.
What's the list?
I think it's the top 4, I think, in no particular order would be Cleveland, Miami, Golden State, and Philly. Although I actually do think that probably would be the order. Then I think there's a bit of a drop, and then I think Toronto would be 5th.
Okay.
I honestly think there's only 3. I think we're just adding Philly in there. But I think it's just between Miami, Cleveland, and Golden State.
Fair. We didn't get a chance. Maybe we can do that later in the show or something. We didn't get a chance to finish up the pros and cons of the other 2 markets we had talked about. We talked about Cleveland and Philly. We didn't talk about Miami, Golden State. But.
Okay. I've got a text here about Leon. Why don't we do both in the next segment?
Hey-oh.
Hey-oh. Is it already Thursday?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Thursday.
Did you sleep last night, sir?
Not very long.
Were you having fun?
No, I was not. I would have much rather have been sleeping than laying in bed going, why is it so bloody hot in my room?
Do you not have air conditioning, sir?
No. What do you think I am? Made of money? Come on.
Yeah, we don't all live in St. Albert.
Yeah, we don't all have houses to go home to. You know what I mean? Granted, my apartment is pretty nice, but like, no, I don't have AC. Come on.
Do you have fans at least?
Yeah, I sleep with a fan in my room on full blast.
How much you pay for rent?
$850 including utilities.
Like $850 each.
No, my roommate pays a little more than me because
he gets the parking spot.
No, actually, I get the parking spot. But he has the nice bedroom. He has the bigger bedroom with the closet, and he can privately go into the bathroom. We only have the one bathroom, and also he, before I moved in, got really nice Wi-Fi. He's like, "Listen, I'll pay for the Wi-Fi myself because I got really nice fast Wi-Fi." All right.
Did you want to get another fan?
No, I'm probably good.
One thing you could do if it's really, really hot is you take a big towel
Mm-hmm.
and you make it damp with cool water, put it on the floor, and you sleep on that.
Not a terrible idea. I do have a couple like plastic water bottles in the freezer right now. I have to go and buy zip ties.
Right.
And then if you zip tie the two of them to the back of the fan, because obviously it takes air from the back, it'll blow cool air. And then I just got to put a towel around the bottom so that when they,
right, you're going to flood
melt.
Entire
it doesn't melt on my floor.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus all. T's and C's apply.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's 12:44. This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out anytime, wolfgmcbuick.com for hot summer savings. All right, before the break, I'm going to talk about Leon Draisaitl in a second, but we were in the middle of a LeBron convo, right? And we wanted to flesh out a couple of the final spots.
Yeah, so I think yesterday during the Duncan with Declan, jamming with Josh, laying it up with Lowetide segment, we talked about the pros and cons of 2 of the 4 landing spots. Because on Tuesday, we all had different answers. You thought Philly, Donovan thought Miami, Josh thought Golden State, I thought Cleveland. So we went over the pros and cons of Philly and Cleveland. So I figured we could just wrap it up.
There you go.
With Miami and Golden State. I mean, Golden State, the pro of that is you get to watch LeBron and Steph Curry play together. The con, I think this is the easiest one, by the way. The con is they're all super old. I know he wants Anthony Davis to come there as well. If Anthony Davis is there, you'd have to move out Jimmy Butler money-wise. I would think Draymond as well. Like, it's kind of like that team is almost like if Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and Willie Nelson got together to make the Highwaymen, but it was like way, way, way past their primes. And everyone was like, yeah, this is cool. We would have probably rather seen it 6-7 years ago.
When Chris Christopherson's voice was great.
Yeah, like it'd be really, really cool to see them play together. But that, like, the average age of that team would be like 37. You know what I mean? So I just think that's one thing that needs to get worried about. Yeah. Basketball wise, like, I don't think it's a bad fit. Like LeBron having Steph as a shooter where he can dominate the ball is great. Draymond's defense is going to be able to, shield him a little bit. We don't know what Jimmy's going to look like off an injury. And if he wasn't there, like, is it Anthony Davis? What does Anthony Davis look like off of the injury? And he's always injured. So that's what I would say would be the pros and cons of Golden State.
There you go. It's an interesting take, though, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Tough for me to disagree with either one of the or either of those arguments for the pros and the cons, because the pros, like, you get to see the 2 greatest players of a generation basically play together.
2 faces of the league.
Faces of the league. All this stuff play together. And the downside is, they're old, like really, really old, like really, really old. This is it's a real last kick at the can for these guys here. But there's just the con is like LeBron seems like he's sort of holding them hostage to see if they can get an Anthony Davis deal done beforehand, and it's just like, listen, man, you tried it once, it worked once in the bubble, so that was after like a 6-month break. It's a whole thing, but I still think it's the most likely because he doesn't have to move very far,
right?
Just like it. He gets to stay in California around the rest of his family, where the opportunities are, all these things. Like it sort of just makes sense to me. But the old factor is really, really tough.
For Miami, I think the pro for this one is you undoubtedly get to play with the best player of any of these options in Giannis Antetokounmpo. I also think defensively, like that team would be so staunch when you got Davion Mitchell, Giannis, Bam Adebayo. Like I talked about a little bit with Cleveland, how he'd be shielded defensively. It would be even more so with Miami, and it would be at different positions on the floor. The biggest con I think for that team though is like the lack of shooting for one is like, I mean, it just stands out to me. But the other thing about this is like that Miami team would be something a 15-year-old fan puts together when he's like playing NBA 2K. And then you play out the game and you're like, not a lot of these pieces to the puzzle actually fit. Like, I just think basketball wise, there's so much that they would be lacking. Like, no, the lack of shooting is the biggest one, but I also just think like Bam's offense would crater. I think LeBron's like, I don't think Giannis would be able to play off LeBron that well in like half court sets. So I just think it's a team. Like, I just think there are a lot of problems with how that offense would run.
Skippy says, LT, I agree with what you said about Leon working on his game after he got to the NHL. I remember watching him at rookie games in Penticton and thinking that he was lazy and slow and wouldn't last too long. But that shows why I'm not a scout. P.S. Sometimes I think he's a bit lazy, LOL. Well, when I was young, people used to call Frank Mahovlich lazy. And what I learned was that bigger guys with the long stride, they don't look like they're putting in as much effort as a Ty Domi, who, when he played, if you remember him, he looked like he was passing a kidney stone every time he skated. He looked ultimate effort. And Mahovlich looked like it was, easy street. But Mahovlich beat everybody down the ice. He was a fast skater. He just had more what we'll call loping strides. And Leon, is a little bit similar, although in terms of size, Mahovlich stood out because it was a different era. But I do think that Leon did work on his game and the things that he needed to do. And, he's still doing it. And I don't want, we talk about this a lot, and I don't want to talk about it this time without mentioning that, when Wayne Gretzky arrived here, he floated all boats. Everybody got better. Mark Messier in his book talked about that, about practicing against Gretzky made him a better player. And I think that McDavid floats all boats in this era. And the Oilers have not played it smart in a lot of ways. They would often acquire a player, put him on McDavid's line, and then have to pay him too much by contract. You want to sign the guy to a contract and then do it, right? But I think that Leon Draisaitl has absolutely improved as a player. 12:50, Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. We mentioned this at the top. I want to mention it again. Tomorrow at 12:40, we'll have Devon White on to talk about a big event coming to Edmonton, 2026 Riverhawks Foundation Festival. It's a baseball day and a baseball camp for adults. It goes Saturday, August 22nd at Remax Field. VIP tickets $250, 100 general admission. Information's available at riverhawksfoundation.ca. That's riverhawksfoundation.ca. They're going to have batting cages, radar gun readings, base stealing drills. I'll be out there for that. I mean, so will an ambulance, but it'll be there and we'll have fun with it. Pitching instruction, including how to throw specialty pitches, which is awesome. Slide pieces, circle change. I know that some of these, there are players in major leagues now that got 4 different fastballs. I'd like somebody to explain how you can, like, what finger are you using, harder on the grip to make a fastball look, evasive compared to your other fastball. So we'll talk about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Fireside chat with 3-time World Series champion Devon White. You might remember Joe Carter did this a year ago, and then he got a statue for it. Well, there's also the home run, but the
seems like a big piece.
Well, the conversation was amazing. Were you there for that?
No, I was not.
Oh man, it was just awesome. Joe Carter has an amazing memory, going back to when he was with the Cubs and got traded to Cleveland and then obviously went on to Toronto. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait for it. It's August 22nd, this Saturday. Information available at riverhawksfoundation.ca. Easiest install ever is picking up a portable air conditioner. It'll change your life in that bedroom.
Like I said, do I look like I'm made of money?
Well, how much is a portable?
I have no idea, but do I look like I'm made of money?
Well, okay, I understand you're a brilliant man and you're in the poor phase of your life, but you might want to check out what it actually costs.
My roommate has one, but obviously it's my roommate, so I can't take it.
No, but you don't have to take it. Ask him how much he paid for it.
Yeah. We already have one. We set it up in the living room. It was very kind of him to do so.
I can't get a read on your roommate. Sometimes you're mad at him and sometimes you're not.
At the end of the day, like, he's a nice guy. It just sometimes he really pisses me off.
He doesn't eat your food, does he?
No, we do have like shared food though.
And does he eat most of the shared food?
No, I think we're pretty even on that.
Okay.
I'm pretty like heady on, hey man, like, yeah, I'm gonna eat stuff that you bring around. You're gonna eat stuff that I bring around. That's just sort of the way it is.
Right.
But if there's something I don't want him to eat, I make sure I tell him. When it comes to things not to drink, it's a bit of a tougher conversation.
I see. So now what kind of foods would you put your name on?
That's more stuff like a bag of shrimp, or if like I bought steaks a little while back. I said, hey man, like these aren't for you.
Right.
This
food is too good for you.
No, it's that I specifically bought this for a certain thing. Do not eat it.
Okay. And does he do the same thing to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the drinks, he's just
the drinks is a really tough one.
Yeah. Does he listen to the show?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Does he
follows us on Instagram?
Oh, cool.
Shout out Brandon. Again, at the end of the day, he's a good guy. But sometimes, your roommates really annoy the hell out of you.
Could you bring him in here because we'd like to talk about you? With him.
I don't. He has a job.
Well, so do you. You can show up. Why can't he? Some kind of special person? I
don't. He's got a day job. It's not like he can just leave at noon.
I'm sure the boss likes him enough that he could come by.
His boss is his dad, actually.
Well, so okay. Now that's the end of the argument. He can come in here and talk about
funny
you.
Enough. No, I think he's good. I think I'm good without it.
Just ask LT if he can crash in his basement, Matt the Sparky. The answer is always no.
It's called Marketplace. Yeah, I get it, guys. I get it. But let's just relax, okay? I have my red backwater redneck shiznit.
Okay.
Some genius redneck shiznit from Titan is what he called my frozen water bottles on the back of the fan. I got that. I'm good. I'm chilling. Everything's all right.
I will say about my basement, the most often it gets used is usually Boxing Day or Christmas night when, not so much anymore, but when my kids would have friends over to play new video games and they'd play all night. I'd get up in the morning and I'd hear a noise downstairs and they're still playing.
This is a classic. I've been there. I've done that. As have most kids, I imagine, actually.
Play all, your brain is mush.
Do I care?
Declan's at church, sir.
Yeah. I didn't grow up going to church. I don't go to church now. So video games it is.
What's your favorite video game for when you were 15 years old?
Oh, 15. That's pretty easy. That would be Borderlands 2. Fire.
Did you like Sims? Did you play Sims 2?
No, that was more of a, like my sister played. That was more of a girl game. I played games for boys.
So there was a lot of guns.
Yeah, there was.
Did you play Duke Nukem?
No, I did not. I got Borderlands when I was like 12. No, before that. I definitely got it before that. I think it came out in 2012. I got it in 2013.
Declan, you played Sims 2.
I didn't.
Oh,
never a Sims guy.
Okay, what did you play?
I was pretty much exclusively a sports game guy.
I gotcha.
I played a little Star Wars Battlefront 2. I played a little Lego Star Wars and Lego Indiana Jones.
My son had that.
Yeah, and then when I got like a little older, like early adulthood, late teenagers, I'd play like Fortnite and Warzone with my friends during like the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
Yeah. All right.
And now I pretty much just still crush like FIFA and Madden and 2K and NCAA.
Yeah. All right. I get that. The weirdest game I ever saw was Crop Circles. Did you ever play that?
Never even heard of it.
It just the weirdest game ever. Just totally weird. And I could never, NHL 2004 is the last one I think I played. Could never score in that damn game.
I was really bad at NHL. I think I got NHL 14 and my buddy had 15. And I was just like, it was like you start playing it against someone that's like
Good.
way better than you.
Yeah.
Like as you're getting into it, you're like, I'm done. That's okay. I'm good without this.
Yeah.
I was a big 2K guy though.
What happens is, or at least it happened to me, I was not part of the video game era. I was more a pinball guy. And so when it came along, I was already too busy to do other things. And so I could play 4-club golf against my kids or something, but I never really got into it. Like I could never play anything all night. Like, come on, man. Your eyes must be burning into your soul by like 4 a.m.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, you're normally pretty good. Like just you're just fine hanging out, you know?
Just get those power drinks going.
No, like I don't do it as much anymore. I've definitely done it in my adult years, but not very often. When I was a kid though, it was just like, no, we were just so excited to be up past, midnight.
Cheating the night.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of cheating the night, Bag Milk will join us from Oilers Nation. We have Declinations talking CFL and the Elks. Big game tonight. Back to back with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That and more on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by elksnation.ca for the best green and gold coverage online, articles, podcasts, and more. Visit elksnation.ca. Chicago Blackhawks bringing back Patrick Kane on a 2-year, $16 million deal, while the Columbus Blue Jackets and Jack Reeves have reached a 3-year, $15 million deal just before his arbitration hearing. And the Vegas Raiders signing number 1 pick in last year's NFL draft, Fernando Mendoza, to his rookie contract, a fully guaranteed 4-year, $57 million deal. CFL Week 8 tonight kicks off with Edmonton and Saskatchewan. In Saskatchewan, the Elks at 5-1, looking to take place sole position of first place in the CFL ahead of Montreal's game on Sunday. The line for that one currently -4.5 for Saskatchewan. And in the MLB, one game right now, the Twins and the Guardians. See the Guardians lead 1-0. A final from earlier today saw the Braves over the Padres 6-5. And the Blue Jays will be up in about 6 minutes' time as they play host to the Tampa Bay Rays. Shane Bieber on the bump in that one. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Again, the poise and composure experience of Heidemann. Clark. Again.
Change up off the outside edge. Pena goes. This ball driven deep to left field. Looking up, Hernandez. Go! He's done it again. This guy's awesome. Oh, man. Just took a turbo fastball down and away and hit a...
Suzuki blasts one into the bleachers in left field, and the Cubs jump in front 1-0. Suzuki with home run number 17 and a no-doubter.
He's been the hottest player on the team for the Cubs.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for hot summer savings, including 0% purchase financing on select models. 0%. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. Great song. Thin Lizzy, 76. We are now joined by our friend Bagged Milk. And our headliner of the day, presented by Faber. Debt holding you back? Let Faber's licensed insolvency trustees help you tackle your debt. Book your free consultation at faber.ca or call 1-877-944-1177. Joined now by Bagged Milk. How are you? Good. You have air conditioning in your house, right?
Air conditioning in the house. The interesting thing is we also have AC at the office, which is where I'm at now, but the temperature at Nation HQ is somewhere between Arctic and meat locker. So it's a very, very different place to work because I feel like I'm going to get pneumonia as soon as I leave the building.
You know, there is a negative to having it too low, right? Like you shouldn't. Your body actually gets conditioned to too low a temperature, and then you go outside and it's like uncomfortable. Number one, and it's not necessarily the healthiest thing.
Well, that's exactly right. Like I'm literally wearing a hoodie right now and it's almost 30 degrees outside. It makes no sense.
Yeah. We've been talking about that. Josh doesn't have air conditioning and is really complaining about it. But I think he's better off when he comes into other buildings that don't have AC set to like 12 Celsius. So we are in the heart of the summer, which means, there's not a lot going on. But I do think there are a couple of things we can talk about in terms of the Oilers and how we're looking and what we might see before opening night. I think the one thing we can probably count on is a defenseman who is waiver eligible like Spencer Stastny probably finding a new NHL home. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like when you look at the defensive group right now, you've got Bouchard, Wallman, Murphy, Ekholm, Shea, Luka Medulin, Stastny, and Emberson all signed a contract and all, worthy of probably fighting for an NHL role. Obviously, some are written in ink, and then others we'll see what happens. But that's 8 guys for 6 spots. And even if you carry a 7th, that's still an extra person. So it's going to be really interesting to see who is the one the Oilers choose. I can't imagine it'd be Luka Medulin, given that they just acquired him and signed him. Spencer Stastny does make the most sense to me because I really like Ty Emberson, and I hope it's not Ty Emberson who's the odd man out here, but they're going to have to make a choice. And ultimately, they're going to have to risk losing a player that can be a valuable depth piece, or maybe even making a trade of some kind so you don't have to risk the waiver side. So I think the defensive side is one of the ones where I'm definitely looking at and kind of wondering what's on Stan Bowman's plate when it comes to making a decision there.
Bagged Milk, our guest from Oilers Nation on Sports 1440 and YouTube. The other area I'm looking at, and I really wonder about for this team, because I'm writing an article on it and I'm looking back through history, and it can work short term, but long term it's not ideal. And so the 3 goalie system is going to be in Edmonton this year with Frederik Andersen, Tristan Jarry, and Devin Levi. And I'm not sure how they're going to space out the starts and the appearances. But I know that if we divided it up and said it's going to be 30-30-24, that's not going to work. Somebody's going to take charge of this job. Do you have a leading candidate? And maybe who's your second candidate?
I mean, and this may not be the most popular take, especially given the way it went after he was acquired, but I still really do think that it's Tristan Jarry's job to lose. I just feel like the Oilers paid a big price to get him. There was obviously Skinner and Kulak and the pick that went out. and then another trade is made for Spencer Stastny in the same day. I just think that the Oilers are going to try and give him some leash here to go and claim that job, kind of like what happened in year 2 with Jack Campbell, where, he lost his gig in year 1, and then year 2, good training camp, solid performance during the preseason. He got those starts, and then it just trailed off from there. We know how the story ended. So as much as I think I would like to see a guy like Freddie Anderson or Devin Levi go in and snatch that gig, I really do think it's Tristan Jarry's job to lose, at least to start, because of the price of acquisition and because the Oilers, they probably want to give a chance to the guy that they went out and acquired, who has still got a pretty big ticket left at $5.375 million left for 2 years. So that's my guess. But I would really like it to be a meritocracy where whoever plays the best in camp and in preseason and in the early goings of the season in October grabs the bull by the horns and runs with it, whether that's Frederik Anderson or Devin Levi or Tristan Jarry. I don't really care as long as somebody's stopping pucks. But my gut just tells me it's going to be Tristan Jarry at least to start. Like the home opener or the season opener, I should say, I won't be surprised at all if it's Jarry that gets the pipes.
Yeah, I say they're used to, rotate Fuhr and Moog, and then inevitably Fuhr would start the playoff games. But I like that too for the same reasons you do. That's how you find who the hot hand is, and you might as well run the hot hand when it's going that way, especially because I think they'd like to win the Pacific Division.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they haven't had a division title since 1987. We've talked about it a long time. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl have been here in a long time, and for them to not get it is almost kind of odd at this point. So I imagine they want to. And, you've heard the players and Mike Babcock in his presser talk about needing to take the regular season more seriously. I hope this group can do it. And obviously the goaltending is going to be a big part of it. The thing that I get flashbacks to, Al, is when we have the 3 goalie situation here in Edmonton is who comes in to play the shootouts? Who's Mike Morrison in this scenario?
Yeah. Well, who has a New England accent? That's what they did last time with Mike Morrison, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, it's not ideal to carry 3 goalies, but somebody will rise to the top of this group. And I could also see, if someone does, that a trade or a waiver situation happens from there to kind of bring it down to 2 and level out the rest of the roster with spots. But it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's a long-term plan anybody wants, including at the OEG offices, but that's the situation we're in right now. They've got 2 capable goaltenders that are veterans in Jarry and Frederik Anderson, and then you've got Devin Levi, who's got all kinds of potential, and we hope he can turn into the goalie of the future here. So he's going to get the most leash. I don't know what his start frequency will look like, but somebody's got to rise to the top, and then that makes an interesting situation for Stan Bowman to come in and to make a difficult decision.
Mag Milk, our guest on Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. And as we go through the process of talking about the Oilers and the goaltending, and, I'm not going to bore you with third-line center questions and second-line center questions because it'll all come out in the wash. But I am Jack Roslovicking summer, so I'm paying attention to the free agents that sign and don't sign. And there's an interesting list of players, not necessarily that the Oilers would sign, like Logan Stanley, and Patrick Kane got signed today, and I doubt he was, in the mix for Edmonton. But somebody's going to get a real bargain here, a Jack Roslovic type bargain, as the days dwindle down and desperation begins to set in.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you look at some of the names who are still out there, and obviously the Oilers, we've heard their name tied to a Vladimir Tarasenko. Who knows whether or not that happens? I'm not an insider, nor do I pretend to be, but there are some interesting names. Like, there's a Vlad Tarasenko who's still not signed, and somebody's going to grab him for a deal. Michael Bunting will probably also be taken for a deal. Our old friend David Perron is still out there. Jonathan Drouin is still out there. So there's like some names who are intriguing, maybe as some reclamation projects, or maybe as somebody who can play a little bit lower down in the lineup and provide some scoring. But I think somebody's going to get a bargain. Whether we have to wait until the first intermission of the season opener like we did with Jack Roslovic to have that announced in the arena, we'll see. But there are some names here where you look at it and you kind of go, okay, well, there's some interesting people out there and they're going to go somewhere. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be for a whole lot of money at this point. I think we're going to see some of these guys taking 1-year show-me deals. I know Jason Robertson signed for a huge ticket at $12 million on a 1-year deal, but I think that is kind of a bet on yourself, show me, caps going up. I will get more money next year. And I wonder how many of these guys are going to do the Jack Roslovic route where it's like, okay, I'll sign a 1 year at 1.5 or thereabouts, or give or take, whatever it works out to, banking on having a good season with a high scoring team like the Oilers and cashing that into a longer term deal next year. I can absolutely see it because we're kind of getting to that point of the dead zone of the summer where you guys don't want to wait around forever to find a job, you know?
It's true. And the Oilers are unique in that they actually do have some walking around money. Like, you mentioned Tarasenko, his 25-26 cap hit was $4.75 million, but it might not be the ask, when we get to August 15th. And that for me would be an interesting consideration because the Roslovic being an example, the price tag on these guys goes down a little bit. And this isn't a player with some issues like Patrick Laine or whomever. This is a guy who, he's older, but if he can play, right? So that for me is there might be a tipping point for Stan Bowman where that deal with a Tarasenko makes sense. That it's not there now, but it might be later.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we're still talking about a guy. Yes, he's 34. He turns 35 in December, but he still had 23 goals in Minnesota last year. If you could get a player who's good for around 20 goals, and Vladimir Tarasenko very much is one of those guys to me, is a proven history of scoring and filling the net, then I think you kind of want to have a look at that. Is he going to be the most well-rounded defensive player? Probably not. But I think that getting some secondary scoring with the Oilers and potentially even on a line where, like, I could even see a guy like a Tarasenko slotting beside a Jason Dickinson and a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and those two are going to be sound defensively. They're going to give you your coverage that you need on that side of the puck, but maybe a little bit more offense on the side. That might be something that's intriguing for a third line. So I think that that's the kind of guy I would love to see them chase. Again, the Oilers, as we're speaking today, have, we're at $4.72 million in cap space. So that also gives the Oilers some optionality that they haven't had in forever in the offseason. We're talking about going over to Europe and signing scratch tickets at the most summers recently, or starting the season with a shortened bench. So it's going to be interesting to see how Stan Bowman kind of plays with this walking around money, as you said, because there is some space here to not only sign a guy, but potentially keep some powder dry heading into the season as well.
I always knew in my heart of hearts that you never liked Gaetan Haas, and you were,
of all the ones, Gaetan Haas is my guy. Like, that slap shot on the breakaway, that image lives rent free in my head and will continue for eternity. So I think that the Oilers are past that. Not to say I didn't like trying to take flyers on some of these guys who had success in Europe, whether it was Joachim Nygard or Gaetan Haas or David Tomaszek last year. Like, it makes sense to me. But when you have the 4.2 that they have currently, you don't necessarily need to go fishing in those pools quite yet.
The Tomaszek one was tough for me because Leon sent him so many cherry passes on the power play early on, and he didn't cash a one of them. And I'm like, that's you can give an opportunity, but Tomaszek got 22 games, and I felt like they knew by the opening weekend what he was. And no disrespect, he's a fine player in Europe, but he dusted off that puck too much. You got to, the goalies in the NHL are fast, man, and going back, I think they could have made that decision earlier.
Yeah, I agree. Like, the 22 games, he got the 3 goals and the 5 points in that time. But yeah, you're right. There was times where he would get set up right on the doorstep and have to dust it off, or he'd duff it wide. It didn't work. But again, I think, like, taking flyers on guys like that, it makes sense, especially when they're up against the cap as they were last summer. This year is a little bit different, but we'll see what happens, because like you said, as the day goes on, the price on a lot of these guys is probably going down by the day. So we'll see. I'm still hopeful that we can get an impact player of some variety. But I also won't be surprised if they sign maybe somewhere in the middle that you can slot into your bottom 6, and that's a player that fills that role. And then maybe they go fishing over in Europe again for another cheap deal like a Tomaszek last year. And if it doesn't work, away he goes. He's at the airport by November. But it's going to be interesting because we still got a lot of runway left. We need some people to start to come back from their cabins or their cottages or wherever they're at right now and get some work done. But the Oilers have some optionality that they haven't had in years, and I find that very, very intriguing.
The final question for you, Bag Milk from Oilers Nation. I will tell you, of all the Oilers who left the city and then came back and played in another uniform, Wayne Gretzky of the Los Angeles Kings never sat right with me. Even his short time with St. Louis was easier. But Darnell Nurse is going to be a funky one because he was here for a long time. He's going to be playing, in the division. So that's going to be an issue. So I thought I would ask you about how that, how you anticipate that making you feel. And maybe if you have somebody in mind, mine is Gretzky. It was strange to watch him. Do you have somebody from the past who came back as a non-Oiler after playing for Edmonton that really kind of landed funny for you?
Yeah, the easy one for me is, I'll answer the first part first. Yeah, it's going to be incredibly odd when Darnell Nurse comes back as a Shark because not only was he a good Oiler for a long time, he was a member of the core. He wore a letter on his jersey. He was strong in the community. He always stood up for the city, for his teammates, and that was the kind of player that you'd love to have. So it's going to be very odd when he comes back as a Shark. But for me, the other part of your question is very, very easy because of the age I am, and it's Ryan Smith. When Ryan Smith came back after getting traded, and then he went on to the Islanders and then to Colorado and LA, every time he came back in another jersey, it just looked so weird to me. I hated seeing Smitty in anything other than blue and orange, and it was nice that we kind of got that curtain call with him in his last season, but that was one that really, really stunk whenever he came back after being traded. Ryan Smith, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. How's Frank doing, staying out of the sun?
Frank that is my job to keep him out of the sun because he loves it. He doesn't understand why he's so hot all the time. He won't drink enough water. So I got to keep him in the basement near the air conditioner. And it's been a battle. It's been a battle because it's either raining or it's 9,000 degrees. So we will see how that goes.
Sounds like Frank is my spirit animal. He doesn't know when he should drink water. All right. Thanks for this. Appreciate it, sir. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Thanks, Al.
There you go. Bag Milk from Waters Nation, our regular Thursday guest. I will tell you, we have some fun things coming in the fall. Sean Bell has joined our show, and we love it every Tuesday. And, of course, we have Kevin McCurdy. But we've got some few little interesting things up our sleeve. There's the Declan Sings segment, which is going to be great. You pick a song, and Declan will sing it. I'm hoping for the Ave Maria to start. Could you get your vocal tones around that one?
I think I could get the inflection on like Rock the Casbah down.
I can do Convoy.
I'm a really, really, really bad singer. I like to sing in like the shower or in the car, whatever.
Everybody does. It's
of
awesome.
Course, yeah. But I am like singing and drawing, like anything artistic.
Oh, I'm so bad at that.
Yeah, not my fortes at all.
My daughter is such good, like creative drawer person, and I wish I had that skill because I draw something and it looks like a 11-year-old showed his 3-year-old brother how to draw for the first time. So bad. What about you? Are you good at that, Josh?
I wish I had that artistic talent,
too.
Though.
Like
This
is Josh. I am not particularly good at drawing. Like, it does not look like a little child showed another small child how to draw. It's slightly better than that. I want to give myself a little more credit. I'm okay at singing. I am not good at singing, but I'm okay. Like I'm not tone deaf, which is ideal.
If we all were in a karaoke, who would win?
Me.
I don't know.
It's not me, so it's one of you two.
I can sing I Can't Help It If I'm Still in Love with You by Hank Williams Sr.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
That's not bad.
Like it's in my range.
I can do country.
I can do that too.
I am able to hold my voice for longer because I was in musical theater. Like I do know how to sing. I just have to make sure that it's in my octave and I'll be okay.
And it's how you start too, right? Like sometimes I'll be at karaoke and I'll start too high and then I'm screwed for the rest of the song.
No, I can just drop the octave. It's fine.
Yeah. When I get into love, what's love got to do with it, man? I got to start right. Or you must understand. I love that song, man. Maybe we should do a karaoke segment.
No, we're good.
So good.
I don't think they need to hear that.
I think we're doing it. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Krueger for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
The Bricks 55th Birthday Bash continues with big savings store-wide. Save on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Plus, take 55 months to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Or 36 months on appliances and electronics on approved credit. Find up to 30% off bedroom packages, up to 40% off select mattresses. And don't forget, you could be one of 275 winners with over $155,000 in prizes to be won. Hurry in. The Birthday Bash ends July 29 at the Brick. Saving you more.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
I missed one payment, then another. Now I feel behind on everything. I can't keep up.
Falling behind happens to more people than you think, but there is a solution. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Together, we can create a plan that fits your situation and helps you get caught up and back in control. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowetide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out. WolfGMCBuick.com for hot summer savings right now. Thank you for playing that. That's such a great record. I guess we're both fans of Lana Del Rey too, right?
Yeah, that was the remix. That's actually the only song we have in our system here of hers, which is a bit of a tragedy.
What about Blue Jean?
No, we don't. No, I know. Or like Young and Beautiful.
Yes.
Video. No, listen. I know she makes music for a certain demo, But she's unreal.
I
she is
love
an
her
amazing
music,
artist.
man.
Yeah, she is an amazing artist. Like truly.
Like
I went for a run the other day. It was nothing crazy. It was like a 5 or 6K. I listened to Young and Beautiful on loop the whole run.
It's gift for melody, gift for lyrics. The lyrics we couldn't read them, but it was not like Millie Jackson, but it's the music itself and her voice. I just love her. She's a great artist, really is. Justin says, Flames fan and musical theater. You guys hire anybody. Joke. I did very little musical theater in my life. I did little theater, but it's hard. It's really hard. Did you do any little theater at all?
What is little theater?
Okay. Did you do any theater at all?
Yeah.
Are you in plays?
Yeah.
Musicals?
I was in at least one play every year from grade 7 to grade 12.
Okay.
He was in Legally Blonde, the musical.
I was
which
Kyle,
is
the UPS
awesome,
guy.
which is fantastic. And that's like anybody who does that, I have a great deal of respect for. I was not good at it. I wanted to be, but I wasn't, because you kind of have to lose yourself, right? And become whomever.
I guess.
Yeah,
I guess so.
No, it's a gift, and I think it helps you in your broadcast career too.
It definitely made me more social or more willing to
put yourself out there.
Embarrass myself.
Right.
I was never embarrassed of being in a musical theater. Let me be clear. However,
no, I'm impressed by that. You put that on your resume, right?
No, I don't think so.
People today.
I found most people don't care. Or they're like Justin. Oh, we'll just hire anybody. I know you're just kidding, Justin.
I wanted to do that. I love that stuff.
It was fun. I had a great time doing it.
I think that's I mean, the boxing is cool. I loved boxing. I never tried to box, but that's a remnant and roll end from your past that is very impressive, sir. Nikki,
Mine, just in case anyone was confused.
What?
There's a lot of mix up.
Well, no, Declan was the boxer.
Yeah.
Josh is the musical theater guy.
He said he was the boxer while talking to me, and we were having a conversation.
I pointed at him.
I know,
but no,
the people on radio don't really get physical gestures. However,
and you know how much that boils my blood when we get mixed up.
Settle down.
So I'm saying every time there's a chance for me to bring it up, I'm bringing it up.
Nikki Northside says, I'll never forget the day Ryan Smith was traded. I was working at Home Depot, and someone came in and yelled that he'd been traded. Place felt like a funeral the rest of the day. Yeah, it was bad because it was over 100,000, and Kevin Lowe was a great player, and he actually he did exceptionally well as a general manager often, but there was an emotional side to Lowe that caused him to pull back a trade of Mike Comrie for Corey Perry when Perry was a kid, which hurt the team. And the Ryan Smith thing, I think, hurt the team too. And, people talk about Lou Lamoriello having, absolutely no emotion. And Glenn Sather was accused of that as well. But that's kind of important, right? Because when it gets personal, then everybody loses. And I have an enormous amount of respect for Kevin Lowe. You're never going to hear me badmouth Kevin Lowe about anything. But I think that is a fair assessment of as a general manager, and I think that's one of the reasons that he moved along up the management ladder was because of that. Steve from Drumheller, lose yourself in the music. Who said that? Did you say that?
No, I didn't see any. You said did I lose my? You sort of have to lose yourself in
right.
it.
That's what. But I think you do if you're going to act or you're going to be in anything like that. You have to stop being you and become whatever the character is.
I don't know. I wasn't really method like that. You have to believe.
But you can't walk out as yourself and say, hey, how's it going, man?
No.
You have to
be. You
project.
Yeah. You pretend to be somebody, but like when you're done at the end of the night, like it's okay to just go in the shower and wash the character off. Like
sure,
it's fine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I thought you were saying. It was like,
no.
Going all method. Like, no.
Depending upon the play you're in, that could be harmful to the people you're around.
Entirely true.
I
was in Village of Idiots. Imagine if the people took that a little more seriously, would have been something.
Burglar says, crazy to think Jari will be off the books before Campbell. Yeah, that's what buyouts do, right? And no movement clauses and all those good things. And I think there's a real opportunity for Stan Bowman to change course. The team that won the Stanley Cup this year had lots of cap room as they were winning the Stanley Cup. And they have lots of cap room now. And they have lots of draft picks so they can make offer sheets. I think that it's okay to say somebody else built a better mousetrap and copy that. It's a copycat league. I read all kinds of Oilers fans on my blog and elsewhere, talking about, well, I got to be better than the Panthers. What? Like, if you're adding a tough guy just because you're adding a tough guy, that's not the way of the NHL world now. If the person can play, great. If they can help outscore, fabulous. But the days are gone where you're bringing out a fourth line guy who can hammer away and, that's all. There's a pretty good defenseman out there, Logan Stanley, who has not signed a contract yet. That's a guy who'll get signed. Vincent Desharnais got signed this year to a good contract by a team that uses analytics, the Washington Capitals. The numbers, folks, aren't against physicality. They just want it to come with a skill set that allows them to also outscore the opposition when they're on the ice. What was the big announcement? I missed it. Tomorrow at 12:40, Devon White will join us, and we'll be talking about a baseball day camp for adults on Saturday, August 22nd at Remax Field. You can get information at riverhawksfoundation.ca. There's going to be batting cages, radar readings, base stealing drills that you can be a part of. There is pitching instruction. They're going to show you how to throw a curve and a fastball and a four-seamer and a whatever else, circle change, splitter. You'll probably hurt yourself. It's going to be lots of fun. And there's on-field dining at center field, steak experience. Probably Josh will hit a fly ball out there and hit somebody during that period. Fireside chat with 3-time World Series champion and former Edmonton Trapper Devon White. And there's going to be tours of the dark and storied corners of Remax Field. I was in some of those. We used to do our rotisserie league draft there.
And don't worry, I won't fly it out into center. You guys can watch it sail over your head.
And you're going to throw
into the parking lot.
79-mile-an-hour fastball.
Okay,
you promised us.
I did not promise that.
That's going to be great. Anyway, it's at riverhawksfoundation.ca, and make sure to ask them to make sure that you see Josh throw the 85-mile-an-hour fastball.
All right.
That he's promised everybody. 92. I can't believe you think you can get that high.
105? Yeah, it's just a regular day at the ballpark for me.
Okay, we're going to do declinations. It's going to be about the Elks game tonight against the Rough Riders. Before we do that, I want to ask you a question, Declan. Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
In the history of the CFL that I've been a part of, which is like since 71, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, for me, for the most part, were always getting Saskatchewan kids who threw hay bales over the top of the truck to play on the offensive line. Roger Aldag, down the line, all those cats, right? Roger was from Gull Lake. A lot of them were from, various parts of the prairies, and certainly Saskatchewan was one of them. But in the last 20 years, they've had, do you agree, the best group of Canadian either slot backs or wideouts? And we'll go back to Fantus and Getzlaff, but they've got a good group now, right? They're doing well.
Yeah, like their receiving core right now is very good. They have 2 of the top 4 receiving leaders in the CFL, and they got another guy in Sam Memlus who's really good. Those 3 carry a lot of weight for them. I'm trying to think, like, in the last 20 years, Canadian receivers, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that Royal Canadian Air Force with Rob Bagg and Andy Fantus and Chris Getzlaff and Jason Claremont, Weston Dressler, honorary Canadian from North Dakota.
He was so good. I loved him.
He was my favorite player offensively. That carried a lot of weight for them. I'm trying to think, though. Like I'm trying to, it's funny because receiving cores back then were a lot more set year after year. Like the turnover wasn't there. So you look at like Montreal with like Ben Cahoon and SJ Green and Jamal Richardson and Calgary with like Jermaine Copeland and Nick Lewis. I think I would probably agree.
Yeah.
But I would have to like sit down and go back and look. That's a good question. I think I would agree, but I'd have to think about it and I'd have to go back and look, like I said.
Okay. Well, when I watch the games, I'm always aware of that because I love the CFL partly because of the Canadians, and the Rough Riders have done this twice this century, and it seems like an outlier both times, but it's a really good way to get your Canadians in there, especially if they're skilled enough. Okay. On the way, declinations, and we will talk about the big CFL game tonight. It's on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back, leadingedgephysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wore jeans. Then a volunteer gave me a medal. But I don't want participation trophies, unless they're from Bet365. With their daily prize matcher game, I win by matching gold coins, cherries, and more. Take that, denim man. Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit av.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Hi, Edmonton. With summer adventures calling, there's no better way to answer than from behind the wheel of your Subaru WRX. The WRX delivers turbocharged performance, confidence-inspiring Subaru all-wheel drive, and the kind of driving excitement that makes you look for excuses to hit the road. Summer won't last forever, but the memories will. So make sure you give yourself something to remember. Visit your local Subaru dealer today and test drive the WRX yourself. Welcome to Uncommon.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Varkels to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, The Brute Squad, Morningwood, Roxilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the ones and twos, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
The Sherwood Park Highland Gathering is this Saturday and Sunday at Broadmoor Lake Park, featuring live pipes and drums, bands, Highland dancing, heavy games, and sheep and duck herding, plus food trucks, beer gardens, British car display, and the Celtic Marketplace. Tickets at sphg.ca.
The sun goes down, the stars come out, and all that counts is here.
He's the only person to win an arm wrestling contest with the Philly Fanatic. The Lowdown with Lowetide, now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. 0% financing right now. Hot summer savings. Check it out. WolfGMCBuick.com. It is time for Declinations, presented by the Edmonton Elks. Next game, August 1st. Next home game, August 1st. Go to goelks.com/tickets to pick up yours. They play tonight in Regina against the Rough Riders. Battle for first place. Declan, what have you got?
It's a huge game. There's no question about that. You're currently sitting at 5-1 atop the Western Division. Saskatchewan, they're at 4-1 because they have the one last game. They're coming off the bye. I just think when you look at this game, I talked about it a little bit in the opening. You're probably, listen, we know they're not going to go 18-0. They already have that one loss. You're probably not going to go 17-1. Only 2 teams have ever gone 16-2. I just think there are some spots throughout a season where maybe you can pencil in a loss with a little bit more confidence than others. And I think you look at this spot. You look at Saskatchewan coming off a bye, playing at home, Edmonton with the short week, with the offense looking a little bit shaky against that BC team. And you're like, okay, you know what? If there was a spot they probably lose, it's this game. Then, we've talked about this as well. We don't need to keep hammering it home, but there is an added emotional element of what happened with Jaden Dahlke and Bisham, I believe his name was. So that's going to factor in as well. I think when we look at keys to the game for the Edmonton Elks offensively, I really, really think you need to be consistent with the run game. You can say that most weeks and it would carry a lot of water, but I think when you're playing on the road in Saskatchewan, like I've talked to Cody Fajardo about this. He threw 51 times against BC in their loss, 37 in their win. And I said, like, how many times do you want to throw the ball? And he said, yeah, like somewhere in the mid-20s. And I think in Saskatchewan, in front of that crowd, with how loud they can be on defense, you don't want your quarterback throwing the ball 10 or 15 or 20 more times than he's comfortable with because of the environment that stadium brings. That's why I think getting the ground game going offensively, sticking with it, letting Justin Rankin be Justin Rankin is something you have to stick with if you're Jordan Maksimic. Now, the other side of that coin is this offensive line. They're down 3 starters. It's kind of 2 because Cam Carter has really elevated himself into that starting right guard and has played very, very well. But Mark Corte comes in for David Beard. Brett Boyko is coming in at left guard. He played all right tackle all of last season. Now, I know he's played guard before, way back when, but I think it's safe to say he is a tackle coming in at that left guard position. So offensively, I think you just have to stick with the running game. You can't let Cody Fajardo throw the balls an amount of time that's going to make him feel like he's forced to do too much. And you just need to rely on what's safe and simple. Like, people talk about the OC not wanting to open up the playbook, but they play within their capabilities in a lot of ways. And I think that's smart football. Like, you know what sucks worse than losing an ugly game 19-17? Losing. So if you're going to win an ugly game 19-17 and it's just going to be with like 5 and outs, it's going to be with short crossers and it's not going to be with a lot of chunk plays, I'll do that 100 times out of 100. Defensively, I've said this, I say this pretty much every week. I just want to see a little bit more man coverage. And the reason I want to see a little bit more man coverage is, I talked about Keyshawn Johnson and Keon Schaefer-Baker, who are having unreal seasons for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Sam Emelis, a little bit down on the totem pole, but very good receiver as well. Like, when the Elks, they play a lot of zone coverage defensively, and Trevor Harris, he doesn't have the biggest arm, but he is very accurate. And if there's one thing he can do, it is pick a zone. So when these Saskatchewan Roughrider wide receivers are able to find the soft spots in the zone, Trevor Harris is going to find you. Playing man coverage, it's a little bit more risky. It's higher risk and higher reward. Like, it's higher risk, higher reward because you're put on an island. But my point is, I trust these DBs enough that you can take Saskatchewan's receivers out of the game. If they're sitting in zone the whole time, like, those soft spots are going to be found by Trevor Harris. If there's nothing else he's going to do, it's going to be that. But when you're playing in man coverage, it just makes it a little bit tougher. And like I said, I trust these DBs to be able to do it. Now, Leonard Johnson, it looks like he's going to be starting in place of Kobe Williams. I thought Kobe played phenomenally well against BC. He had an unreal PBU on the second last drive or the last drive of the game, something like that. I wonder if this is something non-football related. I don't understand how it could be racial related. I know he's listed as a designated American, but like, Leonard Johnson, he's not a nationalized American. He's not Canadian. So and they have their 8 stars. So it doesn't make sense ratio wise. So I wonder if it's something non-football related. But yeah, the coverage needs to be a little bit different in my mind. And you got to get to the quarterback. You got to get in Trevor Harris's face. He's a little bit older. He's maybe a bit more mobile than he gets credit for, but if you get to him with pressure, he doesn't have the escape abilities of a Nathan Rourke or Davis Alexander, etc.
It's you always want that quarterback who really, can just throw the ball. But if you had to choose between, I always think of Ralph Brock when he was before he was Dieter, when he was a rookie. And I mean, he'd come out with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He'd throw, deep twice, and they'd punt. They did it a ton, and it was tough to watch. So I think I'd prefer an accurate QB who didn't have the arm. But in the CFL, if you can't make that long, wide throw, that's a problem. So do you think Fajardo is 3 or less years away from the end of his career because of that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think like he said he was 75% going to retire this season.
Really? No.
Yeah, like you don't say that unless you're at least within 3 years of calling it quits for good. You know what I mean? So
every sport ever, it's hard to say goodbye, right?
Oh, for sure.
Some guys, they just adapt and then they end up, being a lefty reliever out of the bullpen for 15 more years. But, Fajardo, he's had a good career in the CFL. Like he won a Grey Cup.
Grey Cup MOP as well.
Yeah.
It's tough to say goodbye to the bright lights. Like once it's over, it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but just like a lot of guys don't always necessarily have chapter 2 planned out. Like some do and it's good, but some, the sport quits them before they quit the sport. And they're like, well, what do I do now? That's maybe a bigger issue in the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL than it is the CFL, but it's still very real, right? And it comes quickly and it hits some guys really hard.
Yeah. One of the things I always loved about the Eskimos is that, a ton of them would play here, put down roots here, and then, then Pache taught and other guys did other things. It felt like you could, go to the grocery store and run into a football player most Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a ton of, charity work for the United Way and things like that during the 80s. And you get to know these guys and they really did love the city. And I don't know if it's the same, maybe it's more transition or whatever I mean, where they come and they play the winter and then they're gone and then, don't come back or whatever. But I always liked it that some of those cats hung around and, Ron Lancaster talked about it. He and his wife were just coming up for a couple of years and they ended up spending the rest of their lives in Canada, right? In Regina and then a lot of time in Edmonton. And I like that. I think that's a great thing.
Cody and a lot of he's moved, he's got family back there, but he's established roots in Canada. Bo Levi Mitchell as well.
Yeah.
Travis Luley, I think recently came out.
How do you feel? I'm sorry. How do you feel about the CFL at large? I worry about Ottawa. They're like how they lost that last game is beyond me. But I always like to have 9 healthy teams so that we can dream on a 10th.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'd rather have 10, right?
Are we close? Like, are we everybody's going to report a profit. Everybody loves everybody. Nobody's bitching and moaning about attendance. Although the CFL is a different league. Attendance used to be more important, but the TV deal allows a little leeway there.
Yeah,
right?
not as gate driven as you. So not everyone will turn a profit, but the league turns a profit as a whole and revenue sharing. The league will be profitable, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, well, I like that.
I think there were only 3 teams last year that were profitable. Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, and Montreal, maybe.
No.
But as a whole, the league is profitable, and that's what it's about because it's that collective revenue sharing.
Do we know how many bums have to be in the seats on average for the Elks to turn a profit?
Yeah, I do know the number. But it
doesn't matter. We can, revisit
I do know the number. Oh yeah. I don't want to say something that would be incorrect, but I've heard it before.
Yeah. And I think that's, that's the goal for fans. Like the CFL is you cheer for a team, but in a way you cheer for all teams because you want the league to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who's been, a fan of the CFL for 55 years, is that right? 71 to 2026. That's 29, 26 is 55. Oh my. Do you have any idea how old I am?
60.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, I'm getting to the point where you could cut me in half and count the rings. It's old.
63 is pretty young.
Come on.
No, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, obviously it's a lot older than us, but in the grand scheme of things, it's still pretty. You're still pretty young.
I'm hoping I can drive another 10 years and then do this show for another 30. And then you guys.
Oh, man. What do you think you'd look like at 93 doing this show?
Well, everybody, I'll tell you. I don't know. I have no idea. I still think in my brain I'm young, but in
That's
my
nice.
You act young, I would say.
Well, I try to be. One of the things that keeps me young is my kids.
You're relatively hip adjacent, I would say.
Well, I do try to be like, I think your generation is getting screwed over in a lot of ways. And I think some of the people who are my age don't agree. And I don't know how they make that conclusion.
Don't include this boomer in the conversation of my generation. We're 7 years apart.
Yeah, I guess you
You're Gen Z, right?
I do believe technically that is.
I'm early Gen Z.
You're what are you, Declan? What are you?
I just said
Dreisaitl's number.
Yeah, I'm early Gen Z.
And you're at Gen.
I'm a Gen
0?
Z.
Okay, all right.
What's after that? Gen Alpha?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
that's young. That's
unless
younger
Gen
than
X is that, or is
no,
that the one that's
Gen X
super
was,
old?
Gen X was like my dad's generation.
So Lowetide's generation.
No, my dad's.
I'm a boomer.
My dad, yeah,
I'm actually technically an echo boomer.
Not that much younger though.
But I mean, who cares, right? We got overrun by Elvis. There was nothing we can do.
Shout out Elvis.
Yeah. He's just playing the music because he's tired of talking about stuff that's not.
It's part of it.
Flamer 89. I was an Eskimos season ticket holder for many years. Well, go back. Give it a chance, man. You know what? I know we're older, but we can still be cool. And we can still, look past the past. Everything has to be a hill you die on. Damn, man. Live a little. All right. On the way, Jason Krueger. We have Steve Lansky tomorrow. And at 12:40, don't forget Devon White. Oh, my goodness. I can't wait for that.
Connor subbing in for him.
Today?
Yeah.
They don't memo me.
They don't memo any of us, except it is on the calendar. Gregor off.
Just here and then gone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Connor Halley on the way. Like I knew. Enjoy your day.
The Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. For your next move in the Edmonton or area, call or text Sean directly, 780-265-0165. Final from the MLB earlier today, Braves over the Padres 6-5 right now. Twins and Guardians tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 10th, and the Rays and Blue Jays tied with the same score in the bottom of the 3rd. Diamondbacks and Cards at 3:15, and Royals and Tigers at 4:40. CFL Week 8 gets going with the Riders and Elks tonight out in Saskatchewan, 7 p.m. kickoff for that one. And in case you missed it, Chicago Blackhawks bring back franchise icon Patrick Kane on a 2-year, $16 million deal. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.